Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today, we're going on a deep dive into 5 fascinating books about AI. Each of these books was released recently, and they offer unique perspectives on artificial intelligence, its growth, and its implications for our future. From practical guides on human-AI collaboration to bold predictions about the singularity, these authors cover every angle: the good, the bad, and the downright mind-bending. If you've ever wondered how AI might shape your workplace, transform your personal life, or disrupt society as we know it, stick around. This video is for you. Reading these 5 titles back to back was quite an experience. I found myself constantly toggling between excitement, curiosity, and a healthy dose of apprehension. On one hand, the promise of AI co-piloting our day-to-day tasks sounds fantastic. No more repetitive work, more room for creativity, and an expanded capacity for solving complex problems. On the other hand, concerns about data privacy, job displacement, and ethical gray areas kept echoing in my mind as I turned the pages. Ultimately, each author provides a unique lens to view AI, from the microscale, integrating AI into our personal and professional routines, to the macroscale, what happens if machines surpass human intelligence entirely. In this video, I'll summarize the main ideas from all 5 books, share my key takeaways, and wrap up with a reflection on how these insights might guide us in an AI-driven world. I hope you'll join me on this exploration, and maybe even pick up one or more of these titles yourself. Let's jump right in. The first book on our list is Co-Intelligence: Living and Working with AI by Ethan Mollick. Published in 2024, it introduces the concept of co-intelligence, which Mollick defines as a synergistic partnership between humans and AI systems. Rather than emphasizing how AI can replace human labor, Mollick focuses on how AI can enhance human capabilities. He believes we're entering an era where AI should be treated as a virtual co-worker or even a strategic partner, augmenting our problem-solving abilities and creative thinking. Mollick's perspective is refreshingly optimistic. Instead of painting AI as a technological overlord or a mere tool, he sees it as a collaborator that flourishes with human input. Throughout the book, he highlights practical examples, like using AI-driven assistants for brainstorming sessions, or employing machine learning tools to sift through massive datasets. He also outlines potential pitfalls, such as over-reliance on automated suggestions, or the danger of losing essential human skills if we blindly trust machine outputs. One section that really caught my attention was Mollick's argument about the importance of reskilling and upskilling for the workforce. He contends that if we adopt a collaborative stance from the outset, we can avoid a lot of the job displacement fears associated with AI. People might shift from repetitive tasks to roles that demand emotional intelligence, critical thinking, and ethical judgment, areas where humans naturally excel. All in all, the author makes a strong case for forging a more harmonious union between humans and machines. Reading Co-Intelligence felt like a guidebook for anyone wondering how to practically integrate AI into daily workflows. One of my main takeaways was Mollick's emphasis on communication and transparency, both within teams of humans and between humans and AI. He encourages managers to be upfront about AI's limitations and to allocate decision-making tasks appropriately. For instance, if an AI tool excels at data analytics, let it handle the raw computations, but always have a human expert interpret the results to ensure that nuance, context, and moral considerations aren't lost. I also appreciated Mollick's notion of constant feedback loops. He stresses that a collaborative dynamic relies on iterative improvement. Humans refine AI algorithms by providing feedback or adjusting parameters, and the AI in turn highlights insights or potential errors that humans may have missed. It's a cyclical process that fosters innovation rather than a linear one-and-done approach. From a personal standpoint, the book gave me a much-needed dose of positivity. Amid the hype about AI taking over jobs, it's refreshing to see a viewpoint that underscores the potential for cooperative growth rather than outright replacement. Mollick also made me think about the need for ongoing education, both in formal training programs and casual self-learning, to ensure we're not left behind as AI capabilities advance. As someone always eager to explore new tech tools, I found his approach balanced and encouraging. AI can be a powerful ally if we learn to collaborate effectively with it. Next up is Ray Kurzweil's The Singularity is Nearer. When We Merge with AI, another 2024 publication, and the sequel to his 2005 bestseller, The Singularity is Near. True to form, Kurzweil comes out swinging with bold predictions, including his famous forecast that AI will match human intelligence by 2029 and that humans could merge with machines by 2045. The concept of the singularity refers to a hypothetical point in the future when AI becomes so advanced that human life undergoes an irreversible transformation. This book is brimming with speculation, futuristic scenarios, and a sense of sweeping technological momentum. Kurzweil contends that exponential growth in computing power, combined with breakthroughs in fields like nanotechnology and biotechnology, will pave the way for hyper-intelligent AI systems. He envisions a future where microscopic robots, nanobots, could live inside our bodies, repairing cells or augmenting our mental capacity, effectively rendering many diseases obsolete. While the book might sound fantastical, Kurzweil grounds his ideas in historical precedents of accelerating technological change. He references Moore's law and the rapid evolution of computing hardware to argue that such transformations are not just possible, but inevitable. However, critics have questioned the timeline he proposes, suggesting that real-world complexity often slows down or disrupts purely exponential growth. Still, whether you find his timeline plausible or not, Kurzweil's central argument remains that the distinction between human intelligence and machine intelligence will blur to an unprecedented degree, something we need to mentally and ethically prepare for. Kurzweil's perspective is undeniably mind-expanding. Reading The Singularity is Nearer made me grapple with existential questions. What does it mean to be human if machines can replicate or surpass our cognitive abilities? How do issues like identity, consciousness, and morality evolve when AI and biology converge? The book plays more in the realm of speculation than immediate practicality, yet it pushes us to anticipate dramatic shifts that could redefine life in fundamental ways. One of the biggest lessons I drew is the need for cultural and ethical readiness. Whether Kurzweil's timeline is accurate or off by several decades, the broad trajectory is worth considering. If humans begin adopting advanced AI enhancements, like brain-computer interfaces or gene editing techniques, society could fracture along lines of access. Will only the wealthy be able to afford these enhancements? Could that create a new caste system, with hyper-augmented individuals on one side and a baseline population on the other? On a personal level, I found the book both thrilling and unsettling. It challenges us to imagine how quickly today's cutting edge could become tomorrow's standard. Importantly, Kurzweil's optimism about defeating disease and prolonging life must be weighed against potential pitfalls, unintended consequences, ethical dilemmas, and the psychological impact of extending human life indefinitely. Ultimately, whether or not we reach a literal singularity by 2045, it's clear that AI's evolution will demand profound introspection about who we are and who we want to become. Now let's shift gears to Nexus, a brief history of information networks from the Stone Age to AI by Yuval Noah Harari. If you've read Harari's earlier works like Sapiens or Homo Deus, you'll be familiar with his sweeping big-picture style. In Nexus, Harari provides a historical narrative of how humans have transmitted and organized information. From the earliest cave paintings to the invention of writing systems, from the printing press to the internet, leading all the way to modern AI. Harari's central thesis is that information networks form the backbone of civilizations, shaping power structures and cultural norms. Every major leap in how we store and share information, he argues, has produced a radical realignment of human societies. By the time he arrives at AI, Harari describes a transformative possibility: hyper-connected networks that learn, adapt, and even manipulate societal perceptions at speeds humanity has never encountered before. He warns about AI-driven information manipulation, highlighting how advanced algorithms can shape political discourse, target propaganda, or even amplify cultural biases. The historical lens Harari provides is deeply illuminating. By comparing the modern AI revolution to prior developments, like the transition from oral storytelling to written texts, he reminds us that technological disruption is a consistent theme in our past. However, the pace and scale of AI-driven change could be unprecedented. Harari's exploration feels both cautionary and enlightening, urging us to understand the long arc of information exchange before we dive headlong into an AI-dominated future. What struck me most about Nexus was Harari's focus on the power of collective belief. Throughout history, information networks, like religious texts, legal codes, or news outlets, have united people under shared narratives. Now, with AI's ability to micro-target content and generate deepfakes, we're entering a realm where facts and illusions can blend more seamlessly than ever. Harari suggests this may challenge our foundational sense of truth, forging echo chambers where entire groups subscribe to highly curated or even fabricated versions of reality. The main lesson I walked away with is the urgency of critical thinking and media literacy. If we lack a robust framework for verifying sources or questioning narratives, advanced AI could rapidly erode the consensus building that keeps societies coherent. Harari advocates for ethical guidelines and stronger global cooperation to set standards around AI usage, especially when it comes to data collection and manipulation of public opinion. Personally, I found the book sobering. The idea that an algorithm could influence our beliefs without us realizing it underscores why oversight and transparency in AI are crucial. Unlike Kurzweil's future-focused speculation, Harari's arguments are steeped in historical parallels, showing how misinformation has toppled empires and started wars. But now, that potential is supercharged by AI. Nexus reinforced for me that understanding our past is pivotal to navigating an AI-driven future. We've endured seismic shifts before, but never with a technology as potent and omnipresent as artificial intelligence. Book number 4, Supremacy, AI, ChatGPT, and the Race That Will Change the World by Parmy Olson. Released in 2024, Olson's work zeroes in on the real-world entities, tech giants, startups, governmental agencies, currently spearheading AI innovation. She dissects the concentration of power in Silicon Valley and beyond, spotlighting key figures who have shaped AI's lightning-fast development. At the center of it all is the phenomenon of large language models like ChatGPT, which have captured the public imagination and stirred excitement about AI's capabilities. One crucial theme Olson explores is the escalating arms race in AI research, fueled by rivalries among megacorporations and national governments. She delves into the ethical implications of profit-driven AI. Will these powerful platforms remain accessible to all, or will they become exclusive tools for those who can afford them? Olson also highlights concerns around accountability. When a machine learning system misbehaves or spreads harmful misinformation, who bears responsibility? Throughout Supremacy, the author interviews data scientists, venture capitalists, policymakers, and ethicists, weaving together diverse viewpoints. On top of that, she points out that AI's winners might not only gain enormous wealth, but also geopolitical influence. The result is a nuanced tapestry showing how ChatGPT and similar systems are at once democratizing knowledge, providing advanced research or coding assistance to anyone online, and centralizing power, massive troves of user data in the hands of a few corporations. Olson posits that we're at a tipping point, and our collective response could decide whether AI fosters widespread prosperity or deepens societal divides. From my perspective, Supremacy is a critical wake-up call about the corporate and governmental power structures shaping AI's trajectory. Olson's journalistic approach made the stakes feel very real. Behind every breakthrough AI product, there's often a labyrinth of investor interests, political maneuvering, and strategic alliances. Reading this book prompted me to question how much influence average citizens, or even smaller businesses, truly have in guiding AI's development. While open source initiatives exist, the loudest voices often come from institutions with the deepest pockets. A big takeaway was the ethical tension in commercializing AI as quickly as possible. Olson suggests that while rapid deployment can drive innovation, it also leaves less time to address safety, biases, and unintended consequences. She calls for more robust regulatory frameworks, ethical oversight committees, and public discourse. This message resonated strongly with the earlier lessons from Harari. If we don't set guardrails, AI could be weaponized for misinformation, surveillance, or simply to maximize profit at the expense of social well-being. With that backdrop, let's move on to our fifth and final book, The Economy of Algorithms, Rise of the Digital Minions by Marek Kowalkiewicz. While Olson's work focuses on real-time power plays in AI, Kowalkiewicz zooms out to explore the macroeconomic implications of algorithmic proliferation. If you're curious about how AI affects labor markets, productivity, and wealth distribution, Kowalkiewicz's insights are right up your alley. The Economy of Algorithms, Rise of the Digital Minions by Marek Kowalkiewicz examines how AI-driven systems, he dubs them digital minions, are reshaping modern economies. Kowalkiewicz starts by describing how algorithms evolved from simple software routines to sophisticated neural networks capable of mimicking complex human tasks. He argues that these digital minions have taken over various economic sectors, from automated trading platforms in finance to intelligent recommendation engines in e-commerce. They're influencing supply chains, customer choices, and even job recruitment processes. One point Kowalkiewicz hammers home is that while automation has historically replaced certain kinds of labor, the scale of AI-based automation may surpass any previous technological revolution. It's not just manual or repetitive tasks that are at risk. White-collar professions like law or accounting could also face widespread disruption. However, he remains cautiously optimistic, suggesting that new industries, roles, and business models often emerge in response to such transformations, citing historical examples like the Industrial Revolution. He also explores the uneven global impacts of AI. Wealthy nations and corporations can invest in advanced AI infrastructures, potentially widening the gap with poorer regions that lack the resources for robust digital ecosystems. Kowalkiewicz warns that this disparity could result in a major shift in geopolitical power. At the same time, the author sees potential for agile startups in emerging markets to leapfrog older tech, provided they secure adequate funding and talent. Ultimately, he believes the future economy will hinge on our ability to cohabit with digital minions in a way that fosters inclusive growth rather than exacerbating inequality. From my personal reading experience, The Economy of Algorithms clarified how deeply AI is rooted in everyday transactions, far beyond the obvious consumer applications. Kowalkiewicz's big message is that we are all part of this algorithmic ecosystem, whether we acknowledge it or not. Every time we click Add to Cart, watch a recommended video, or accept a rideshare surge price, we're interacting with digital minions that shape economic flows in real time. An important takeaway is the need for policy innovation. If an algorithm decides who gets a loan or which candidate is suitable for a job, biases in those models can perpetuate systemic inequalities at scale. Traditional regulations aren't always nimble enough to address algorithmic decision-making, especially as these systems become more autonomous. Kowalkiewicz suggests strategies like real-time auditing of AI models, collaborative AI governance between public and private sectors, and educational efforts to increase algorithmic literacy among the general populace. For me, the book reinforced the idea that technology alone doesn't dictate our economic destiny. The rules and norms we establish around its use do. Kowalkiewicz's perspective resonated with Mollick's co-intelligence approach. Advanced algorithms can yield incredible benefits, but only if we remain actively involved in guiding them. If we want a future where digital minions enhance human potential without deepening social rifts, we'll need to invest in ethical frameworks, reskilling programs, and inclusive economic policies. Now that we've explored these 5 AI-focused books, I'd like to offer some overarching thoughts on how they intertwine and what lessons we can glean by reading them in tandem. Ethan Mollick's co-intelligence taught me that a true partnership with AI begins with a mindset shift. Instead of viewing AI as an adversary or a mere tool, we must see it as a collaborator. Ray Kurzweil's The Singularity is Nearer challenged me to contemplate the outer limits of AI's evolution, pushing me to ask big existential questions about what it means to be human when technology advances beyond our current imagination. Yuval Noah Harari's Nexus grounded these futuristic visions in history, showing how each leap in information sharing has transformed societies and warning that AI could magnify global tensions if misused. Parmy Olson's Supremacy offered a sobering look at the power struggles, corporate rivalries, and ethical dilemmas that define AI right now. Finally, Marek Kowalkiewicz's The Economy of Algorithms zoomed in on the economic ripple effects, demonstrating that AI-driven automation and decision-making are reshaping labor markets, wealth distribution, and global competition. Taken together, these books reinforce a few critical points. First, AI is neither entirely good nor entirely bad. Its impact depends on how we harness it. Second, collaboration and regulation are vital. We can't assume market forces alone will steer AI in a benevolent direction. Third, education and critical thinking matter more than ever. As machines learn to mimic us, we must double down on our uniquely human traits: empathy, ethical judgment, and curiosity. Whether we're forging co-intelligence in the workplace or contemplating the singularity, these human-centric skills will guide us toward a more equitable and inspiring future. If you've enjoyed this deep dive, please like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Which of these 5 books intrigues you the most? How do you envision the future of AI in your life or career? Let's keep the conversation going. Together, we can navigate the bold new terrain that AI offers. Until next time, keep reading, keep questioning, and remember, the future of AI belongs not just to machines, but to all of us who dare to shape it.